Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christy Price. I'm here with Kaitlyn Dekle of Launch the Damn Thing. And we are so excited to talk about why we all feel like we can't keep up and what to do about it. And I'm not sure that we have that many answers, but it's kind of more of a boy, we're all in this boat situation. But we do have some maybe coping mechanisms we'll share. But if you haven't met us, I'm Christy Price. I'm a Squarespace expert and educator. I work with clients to build websites, and I also help designers learn how to work with clients without losing their minds. And I'm joined by my friend Kaitlyn. I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm Kaitlyn Dekle, and I am a Squarespace designer, long background in graphic design, and I accidentally fell into education. So I'm doing a little bit of both. Maybe that's contributing to the overwhelm. Who knows?
And I just realized I've been pronouncing your name wrong for the last 5 years, Kaitlyn. It's Dekle, right?
It is a long E. Yeah, it's German, but
Yeah,
you're not the only
great.
one, and I don't correct people.
So sorry. Yeah. Well, I've
No
learned.
worries.
My first takeaway from today. So, Kaitlyn, how are you actually doing right now? It's the end of the
I am.
year. It's been a year.
It has been a year. That that is my
That's
statement.
how you're
No,
doing? It's been a year.
it's been a year. We're juggling a lot. I think that we're all feeling the overwhelm of like all these new AI softwares that are pummeling us, all of the lead inquiries, all of the cold pitches, all of the people that want like to put a paid something on my blog, all of the people that want me to leave a review, all the really bad pitches that I get in my inbox. It's just a lot.
I am feeling very similarly. I was sharing with Caitlin, I keep thinking about this bumper sticker that I saw years ago, and it said, "Where are we going? And why are we all in this handbasket?" So it just keeps coming to mind this year. Um, and and two, like I hear you, like the inquiries that I used to get from clients about building a website were pretty straightforward. It would be like, "Hey, I need a website. I'm a coach, and here's what I do, and here's what I'm looking for."
Mhm.
Recently, I've started getting inquiries that are pages long generated by ChatGPT. And I mean, I'm like, this is so long and it's just like a lot of information I don't need. It's not even worth waiting through the whole thing. I've gotten a few of them now
Mhm.
and it's rough. It's rough out there. Um, if you are joining us, we'd love to have you drop in the chat. How are you doing right now? How are you feeling? Are you feeling this overwhelm? Are you feeling like really glad this year's coming to an end? Is there anything in particular you're struggling with? It's just, yeah, I think so many of us feel this way. And actually, Caitlin, you shared in one of your newsletters something that prompted this conversation. I'll let you tell that story.
That was a while ago. There's probably been a few triggers actually. This fall, it's gotten more compact. Like I
Mhm,
actually feel like I've been on the edge of burnout since like August.
mhm,
Because the first half of the year was so busy and it just kept getting more compact and fall is always my busiest season anyway.
mhm.
So, I actually had I don't know if this is even the story that you're thinking of, but I actually had a member who bought one of my templates and then built a design on it and then published it or whatever. And then her client left a review, but accidentally left it on my Google profile instead of the designer's profile. And then I had to contact Google and see if they would possibly remove it and like put it
Uh-huh,
because the client did actually leave the correct review on the designer's profile also.
mhm.
So that got corrected, but, like, now I have a review on my Google profile that addresses me that's not me, and it seems misleading, which follows their policies, right?
Right.
No. No, they wouldn't remove it. So I spent way too long fighting this issue, asking for them to, like, fix
Mhm,
it or whatever, and then when I hopped on I did a workshop with Katie of Job Cap Design,
mhm.
and I was talking to her about this, and she had a similar experience with something else, and we were both like, "Why does it feel like everything is coming at us all at once?" Like, this one thing was just this one little thing, but it was on top it was like the feather on the pile, so to speak. This one.
Yeah. I've been feeling that with there's a scam going around right now
Yes,
with
me
people
too.
impersonating web designers. It's not just Squarespace designers, it's all kind of web designers, but they
Mhm,
actually find out who your clients are and they make up a Gmail address that has your name in it and send your clients messages pretending to be you, signing it with your name, your
mhm,
profile picture, and asking them for login information, asking to get paid for, updates that need to be done to the website or, audits. It's crazy because our clients trust us. And
mhm,
so they're so used to trust when they see our name come through, they kind of don't it doesn't trigger that automatic like, "Wait, is this spam?" Because they have a high level of trust for us. So a couple of my clients got taken advantage of. One of them actually paid the scammers and
mhm,
then emailed me and she's like, "Wait a second." I'm like, "Yeah, that's not me. That's from some random Gmail address and they're pretending to be me." And it's been rife. Like every Squarespace designer I know has been affected by this and lots of
mhm,
WordPress designers that I know as well. So it's, that's been frustrating and just managing that, trying to warn clients, past clients, trying to deal with it. People saying, there was another designer I saw that was affected, and one of his clients sent him a message is like, "You've been hacked." And he's like, "No, I've actually not been hacked. They're just pretending to be me from a completely unrelated account." So
yeah.
it's just a lot to manage. Barb says, "How are they getting your clients' names?" There are lots of ways they're doing it, Barb. They were going on 99 Designs, finding things there, looking at people's portfolios. In a lot of Squarespace websites, this is something we've been talking to Squarespace about for years. Our email actually appears in the code in a lot of times if we're setting up blogs for clients, that sort of thing. Something we've
Mm,
been asking them to remove for a long time. So there are a lot of different ways. We don't know how, but I'm assuming that those are probably the top three.
mhm.
Um, and then Jai says, "Hi. Hi, glad you're here, Jai." And Brenda, also overwhelmed. Yes, the last several years, keeping up with all the updates Squarespace included. Yeah, like I love when platforms get better, but sometimes they just get more. And I feel like there's some better with Squarespace and there's some that's just more with Squarespace recently. So I feel
Yeah.
that too. It's been a lot to keep up with.
Yeah, I've been targeted too. They just started on, like, November 30th or something, and I was kind of hoping that because I'm not on 99 Designs, that they
Mhm,
weren't looking at me yet, but I was incorrect. I think they're actually even targeting smaller designers too, or, like, newer businesses, not just
mhm,
people like us with larger audiences,
mhm.
and yeah, they're doing a bad job replicating us in the emails. It doesn't sound like us, but it is fooling people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they put our names, they put our face. They talk about Squarespace. So I mean, I feel like we not just designers, everybody right now, I feel like we're all in a hurry. We're not really reading things as deeply as we used to. We're kind of glancing over things.
Mhm.
And it's yeah, I can see how people would fall for it. Um Jai says, "I just did their questionnaire and always tell them I love all the improvements about how fixing all the things we've been complaining about for years." Oh, this is the Squarespace circle questionnaire. Yes. Yep. It's always nice when they fix things, and I'm sure they have a list a mile long.
Mhm.
Um, Velvet Heart, thanks for doing this live. Thanks for joining us. Would love to hear how you're feeling at the end of this year. And
Yeah.
Hillary and St. Paul, her overwhelm is less about work and more about the uncertainty, anxiety, and stress in the US right now. These feelings seeping into my psyche equals overwhelm. Hillary, it is a weird time in the world, isn't it? It's yeah, yeah. I totally understand how you're feeling.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah. So I think that that's a really good point, Hillary, and that overwhelm doesn't have to just come from work.
Mhm.
it can come from other places as well. For me, definitely hear what you're saying about living in the US right now. I feel like there's so much uncertainty and chaos. Um, but curious about the other things that could be behind the overwhelm and looking, specifically as, entrepreneurs and designers. Is it Katelyn and I had, like, jotted down some notes here, I'm looking, is it a cultural moment? We've got constant content, economic tension, I mean, prices going up for every tool we use,
Mhm.
comparison loops, the mental load of wearing too many hats. So this gets to what you're saying, Hillary, as well. It's just like, well, we're not only an entrepreneur, we also are a citizen. And a lot of us are perhaps parents, or we have people who rely on us, or we're a student, or, so many other parts of our life outside of work. Um, let's see. We've got some other responses here in the chat. Canadian, but I feel you. It's a gong show out there right now.
Yep.
So important to learn how to manage that type of stress. Yes. Worries about AI and web graphic design, of course. AI has been so interesting. I feel like there are ways that I use it that help me, and then ways that it just creates way too much information. And I mentioned this a little bit earlier when we were chatting. I'm getting now these briefs from potential clients rather than just an email telling me about what they do and what they're looking for. It's, an 8-page brief created by ChatGPT all about their website that
Mhm.
they haven't really read. I'm not going to really read. It's just like way too much to wade through. It's yeah,
I've
it's
had that
crazy out there.
happen too. I had somebody submit their proposal or project brief to me, and it was 5 pages, and he admitted multiple times that whoever had written it had used ChatGPT and that we could completely ignore most of it. And then I had a project in August where she filled out the content guide form that I give my client for to collect the information for the website, and she had taken that information and used ChatGPT to write, like, multiple Google Doc pages, in addition to that to expand on it,
Ooh.
and then I had even more information to go through. So, yeah, sometimes too much information is not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, yeah, I think a lot of our processes are honed to get us the exact information we need to do a good job for the client,
Mhm.
and it's just so easy to create a novel when what you need is bullet points these
Yeah.
days. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Hillary, this is something I've been thinking about too. Hillary says, I've been thinking about reducing inputs, newsletters, social media, news. I definitely feel that because I feel like for me in particular, the amount of information that's coming at me is one thing that's really causing a lot of overwhelm.
Mhm.
And I have stopped watching the news except for I get my news from Mo News, who's an independent journalist on Instagram. So that is where I get my news because it feels less kind of weighted one direction or another. It feels less uh like trying to create division and more just like
Yeah.
here's what's happening. So that has helped, I think, just with my kind of mental load around that sort of thing and emotional load. And I don't go on TikTok. I briefly had TikTok and that was
Me
just like,
too.
"Oh, no. No, I can't go there."
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't delete the account, but I deleted my app, so I haven't logged in like a year or more.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's just so much information coming our way. Ajay says, "I'm constantly scolding ChatGPT not to be so long-winded and repetitive." Agreed. I'm also telling it it's not my friend and it's not my hype man because if it tells me one more time, "Oh, Christy, what a brilliant idea," I feel like I'm gonna throw my computer out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. Velvet Heart, just building our own businesses in general and establishing our own sense of structures when everyone does their process differently can be great, yet also overwhelming. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that it's really for me, I like kind of figuring out what other people are doing and adapting it to myself and ways that it can work for me. So, for example, for YouTube, kind of when I started doing that, just kind of learning what other people were doing and what worked or didn't work. So I could start off from a baseline and
Mhm.
then figure out what worked for me. So it wasn't necessarily reinventing the wheel, coming up with things on my own, like
Yeah.
systems that were already out there, but being able to borrow from those and then making them my own. But yeah, there's so much information coming in from so many different people telling you 8 billion different ways to build a website. It can be really overwhelming. Um, yeah, never got TikTok. Best decision ever. Yes, and agrees with Hillary to reducing input. I totally agree as well. Nighttime comedy guys on YouTube, says Jai. Yes. Yeah, agreed. I think one of the other things that we talked about behind overwhelm, and this gets into just not just work, but also life in general, the difference between being busy and burdened. So this was in our notes, Katelyn.
Mhm.
And I think that a lot of times I find myself doing things that maybe I could just let go of.
Mhm.
And I'm wondering if you feel the same.
100%. I so in the beginning, when I said I accidentally fell into education, I genuinely mean that. I started as a service provider because I am trained in graphic design,
Mhm,
so I was just doing this as a freelancer.
mhm,
And then I was teaching clients how to take over their website, and the response was good. And the blog posts that I was posting to attract clients was teaching people in theory to show my authority or whatever. And
mhm,
so I started to attract designers. And in the process of that, I accidentally created three different business models. I have an affiliate program, not a program, but like affiliate marketing. And then I
mhm,
have content marketing for education. And I have
mhm.
services, which I now know 10 years later, that's 3 completely different business models, and I am wearing 30 hats in each of them. I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree. And
Mhm.
I'm doing the same. So I also do affiliates. I do brand deals,
Yep.
content marketing, service provider, and you and I both sell digital products on top of that as well.
Mhm.
And each of those different areas of business really is its own ecosystem. And they all feed
Right.
each other, which is nice. Like
Mhm.
there's definitely some synergy there, but it is a lot of work. And when I made a really tough decision at the end of this year too. So I was looking over my services, and so this year, and for the last several years, I've offered custom web designs, template build outs, designer for a day, which is something that I actually trademarked. I love that. It was people could work with me for a day to level up their existing Squarespace website. And also hourly help, which I really loved because I love doing one-on-one education. It's
Mhm.
something that I dearly love. And I took a really long, hard look at those services this year. And for next year, I'm letting go of the designer for a day, which is something that I have loved doing, but it's really taxing to work
Mhm.
on one thing all day. And especially because I'm getting older, I have some health things that I'm dealing with too, and, it's not as easy as it was 7 years ago to do this, and so I'm gonna let go of that just because it's not serving me. It's still a great moneymaker, it's still great for clients. I'm sad I can't offer it, but for my own well-being and health, I have to let that one go.
Mhm.
And then the other thing that I am temporarily letting go, and I may bring this one back partway through the year, is my hourly help sessions for new folks. And I love doing them, but it just creates so much effort because someone reaches out. and we email back and forth a few times. Then they book me. Then there's questions ahead of time. Then we have our hour. Then I'm creating notes for them. Then they have questions in the future. And they've paid me less than $300, and suddenly I'm their web designer for life. And whenever they have questions, they're coming back to me, and there's not really any compensation there. And after being in the web design world for 20 years, I've already got a full roster of people who have just a quick question like every single day.
Mhm.
That this is just adding more of those people. And I really love working with them, but I just can't take it on. And so I'm dialing that back for next year. I don't know. We'll see if I can bring it back. It's something that I really do enjoy, but it's just not serving my business right now. And something that I'm I feel like is taking over so much of my time, and
Mhm.
it's monetarily, it's just not worth it. And I do think it's fun. So my words for this year were fun and money. They're the same for next year. Like, is it fun and is it generating income? It can be one or the other, both is best. And this is one where, yeah, it's fun, but it's just not generating really any revenue, and it's not as fun as it is work. So it's gonna fade away for a while. So I'm curious, Kaitlyn, if you or anybody who is, watching us live have thought about what you're letting go for next year work wise. Is there something that you're like, yeah, this is a ball I could drop? It's something I've been doing, but maybe I don't need to keep doing it. Maybe it's a
Mhm.
service. Like, I'm not offering services next year that I had offered in the past, keeping some of them, letting others go. So I'd love to hear. Is there
Yeah,
anything that you're just like, yeah, I have to let this go for a while?
I'm doing something similar actually. I have
Mhm.
VIP day kind of things that I do too, but I also offer a split either 4-hour session or an 8-hour session, and I think I'm gonna change it to a 6-hour session and have only one.
Mhm.
And so you can't keep the price the same, but I'm gonna cut the number of hours,
Yeah.
so the price essentially goes up, and I'm also gonna take down my 75-minute live edit session, I think. Not because I don't like them. I genuinely love doing that because they're both of these are auto booked, by the way.
Yeah.
People book in, so I have the dates in my scheduler thing in Breely, which I love. Thank you, Christy,
Yes.
for turning me on to
Yes.
so they pick the date and they sign and they pay and they don't bother me, and then we have one 30-minute call before I do the work. So they're
Mhm.
easy,
Mhm.
but the problem is that when you have more packages and different price points and you have multiple contracts and you have multiple ways that you have to bring people in and collaborate with them and different levels of how you're serving people, and it's too many things. I've gotta drop something. So even like you said, I like doing the work.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna change how I'm doing the work and see if
Yeah.
that is less of a burden so that I don't feel like I'm marketing 3 different, very different packages, for services in particular. And then I'm also gonna let affiliate stuff just run on autopilot next year.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
one pre-commitment that I have that I've gotta stick with, but the rest of it, I think I'm just gonna let it be organic. However it happens,
Mhm.
it happens.
Yeah.
So those are the big ones that I'm kind of dropping for 2026.
Yeah. I feel like that is really similar to what I'm thinking in terms of the services, and just, what can we let go of? And
Mhm.
yeah, so many people in the chat. Yes, so much to let go of, a lot to let go. Even if something is a moneymaker, is it serving you holistically? Yay for reducing number of services. Barb is going to let go of giving away her services for free. Way to go, Barb. Yeah, don't do that. Don't. Um, Brenda's feeling the same about VIP days. Yeah, sometimes it's just too much with your life circumstances.
Mhm.
Uh, yep. And Jai says, good for you. Yeah, I think we all feel really similarly around these things. And I loved, having just different price points for services as well, and having that kind
Yeah.
of entry level price point. But I think this year was the first year that my digital products outpaced
Mhm.
my services for
Same.
income. And I want to lean into that more because I really am loving working with my students who are taking my courses. And it's just so good to feel like you're supporting people who are learning things that you've been doing for so long, and you can teach them your systems, but also help them figure out how it works best for them.
Mhm,
So it's just that is what's lighting me up. And I think maybe I was thinking about this earlier. Part of what makes us entrepreneurs, and this is true for me, I don't know if it's true for other people, is that I love figuring out new things and creating new things.
yep,
And at some point, it just gets to be like, yeah, I've done that. You know,
mm,
I've done, I don't know, 100 designer for days. Like, do I need to do any more? I don't know. I've done a bunch. Feel like, yeah, cracked that. Let's
yep,
do something else. It's yeah, I feel like maybe that contributes to my overwhelm because I love learning about new tools, like, "Ooh, how does this work?" Or
mhm,
yeah. So I feel like part of it is self-inflicted, but it's also part of what makes us good at our jobs.
yep, I agree. I get the shiny object syndrome thing when they
Mhm,
come into my inbox and
mhm.
they're like, "Please review my software." I almost can't help myself. I'm like, "Well." So, I mean, if I had more time to devote to that stuff, it wouldn't feel like a burden.
Yes.
So I have to pull it from somewhere, and that's the reason why I'm trying to figure out what to let go of so that I can put that attention somewhere else that is still money generating because I still need income.
Mhm. I totally agree, and I think for me too, one of the things that was surprising for me this year was how much I've learned to love creating YouTube content. That was
Mhm.
something that before was so painful for me, and I really enjoyed it. Um, and actually, Velvet Heart says, speaking of creating new things, what are some things you both have considered offering in the future? And I'm still offering my custom web design, my template build outs, my digital courses. But one thing that I'm going to do next year, and this is for me, this is like fulfillment for me and accountability for me, but I think there are other people who need it too. I'm creating a membership called the YouTube Growth Lab. So it's going to be $15 a month. It's not going to be a moneymaker for me. Whenever we have enough money accrued, I'm going to hire an expert to come in and talk to us. But the the community is going to be all about accountability. So that was what was most hard for me is getting started with my YouTube channel was it was hard. And my first videos were bad and I didn't want
Oh,
to
mine
publish
too.
them and then nobody watched them. And so what I've decided to do because I want to see how it feels doing it on a different channel. So I've decided I'm going to start a new, completely unrelated channel and try and grow it to monetization as well as part of this YouTube Growth Lab experiment. And I want to bring people alongside me who are trying to do this with their businesses or for fun. And so we have a community of people who are telling me, yeah, it's okay that you recorded this video on your phone in 1080 instead of 4K. Just post it anyway. Just
Yeah.
yeah, I just need that. So that's one thing that I'm going to be adding for next year. And again, it's not a moneymaker, but because I think it will be really, really fun. So that's something I'm going to be doing next year. Caitlin, how about you?
I think that's really exciting and really
Thanks.
cool, and I think that there's a need for that too. I've heard at least one person bring that not that specific topic, but that
Hmm.
idea of, like, "Walk with me through this." I think
Yeah.
that will resonate well with people.
Thank
Um,
you.
Something that I am adding I almost can't even what do I wanna add? No, take away, I'm removing and deleting. I finished re-recording my course in November, like, right
Mhm.
around Thanksgiving, but I
Yeah.
recorded it for the first time in March, so just let that sink in, twice in 1
Mhm.
year.
Mhm.
Tech tutorials are a beast, man.
They are so tough. They are so tough. We had this conversation when, so Kaitlyn, I was showing you my, web designer's playbook,
Yeah,
and I basically said I decided not to include any tech in that. It's all process
I
and
get it.
systems for that exact reason.
Yeah.
And it's just I used to have an email marketing course on Squarespace, and every time I logged in, it's like, "Oh, everything looks different. I have to update the videos." And it's really funny because I stopped selling that course 5 years ago, and I had somebody reach out last week via email. He's like, "Hey, I just logged into this course that I bought. I hadn't had a chance to go through it." He bought it 6 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
And I think it was like $27, like, it wasn't much, right?
Yeah,
And he's like, "But the videos aren't loading," and I'm like, "Let me just make all those public now, and just so you know, the principles of email marketing still hold, but
yeah,
everything is gonna look totally different." It's
completely.
just yeah, it's crazy to try and keep up to date with all the tech changes. Another source of overwhelm.
Yeah. So I think instead of adding more to
Mhm.
record, I think I need a year off, and I'm gonna hope that no more changes. I think what happened in my case was when
Mhm.
I finished it the first time, literally the next day, they changed the home dashboard area of the tech, the
Oh, no.
software that I was teaching, and then I was like, "Wow, okay." And then about a month or 2 later, they started rolling out changes on a daily basis, and I thought, "Well, I'll just let this ride for, like, a week or 2 weeks or 4 weeks,
Yeah.
however long they're gonna do this, and then I'll batch re-record whatever they're changing." And it
Mhm.
kept going from May to August, and then in August, I realized they're not stopping. I have to catch up now, and it took me from, like, August or September all the way through November to finish.
Yeah, and
So,
this
like,
is
I'm
kitchen,
done.
right?
Yes.
Is kitchen yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they released, like, a mobile app, and they changed how their conversations worked and all this stuff, and I love it. The changes are amazing, and
Mhm.
we deserved them. We were asking for them. But yeah, j keeping up with that stuff. A Squarespace would be the same thing, or Asana,
Yeah,
or Notion, or Descript, or
yeah.
literally anything.
And that's one of the reasons that I do my tech tutorials on YouTube,
Mm,
because I can just create a new video when it changes
yeah.
and or not. It's
Right.
not part of a yeah, it's not part of something that I have to, like, shelve and then bring back out, and yeah. So, the tech changes are crazy, especially with Squarespace. They've rolled out some cool new features, like the layers that they rolled out is really amazing. I love being able to hide things on certain views.
Mhm.
Um, lots of the custom fonts, fantastic. I like the minute that came out, I added a custom font to my site.
Me too, but I have a question for you.
Mhm.
On
Yeah.
yours, is it taking your italics font style?
I uploaded a separate italics. So it doesn't apply italics. You have to upload them all, but it
Yep,
it
I
does.
did, and it
Yeah.
doesn't recognize it. It sees
Oh.
it and it
Uh-huh.
categorizes it correctly, but it
Uh-huh.
doesn't actually apply it. And I ran it
Hmm.
through support, so they are aware, like, there's
Mhm.
some kind of bug with that, but it's driving me crazy.
Mine works. That's so weird. Yeah, I haven't heard of that. That's good to know.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, another bug, thing that
Yeah.
that's a rabbit hole to go down.
I find it yeah, there've definitely been some really buggy things, that have been frustrating. And one of those was they rolled out some code updates to the navigation and the header,
Mhm,
and they actually let us test it. So I actually got a test site, and I tested all the code that I typically use on my site, on client sites. It all looked great, super excited. And they rolled out the changes, and then I started getting emails from clients like, "Why is this broken?" I'm like, "No, I tested it." And it turns out it wasn't even any of the code. Their QA team didn't catch the fact that the things inside the drop down menus when they rolled it out weren't taking on the styling that they were supposed to take on through the system.
mm.
So it's like you would get weird capitalization. It was just yeah. And so the QA, the quality assurance has been definitely not ideal this year. Things roll out and you're just like, ooh,
That's a
like,
little early.
yeah, yeah. So that's been a real bear this year. Like they do get it fixed. They get it fixed, but I wish that they would fix it before they roll it out.
I do. I wish they would do I would rolling it out more slowly would be more
Yeah.
helpful for us.
Yes. Yeah. Kitchen's update output is wild. Kudos to you, Kaitlyn.
It was a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Brenda says looking at shifting to a business model that is less related to any specific tech. I think that is really
interesting.
interesting. I've
Mhm,
definitely been talking to a lot of Squarespace designers this year who are looking to learn other platforms as well. And that's not
mm.
something I'd really seen before. So people are definitely not putting all their eggs in one basket anymore, I think.
I
But I
still struggle
love
with that. I understand why, and
mhm,
I completely agree with that reasoning. However, learning additional I mean, I have dabbled in Webflow and Shopify and Showit and other platforms, Weebly even once upon a
mhm.
time, Wix.
Same.
Yeah,
Yep.
but I just it's so difficult to keep up with I mean, if Squarespace is enough to keep up with on its
Mhm.
own, but all of them have that level of updates, it's software, so I just can't imagine that I'm not capable. I don't have the bandwidth.
I feel the exact same way, and that's why I'm still solely Squarespace for clients. Like,
Mhm.
I play with other tools just to understand how they work,
Yeah,
and I might use them for myself at some point, but I would never have the deep understanding that I have of being able to
yeah,
create a site on Squarespace that has all the back end things done that need to be done. I wouldn't
mhm,
know where to even start on other platforms. I wouldn't know enough to know what I wasn't doing correctly on other
yeah.
platforms, and to have to learn all that and keep up with it, just like you said, for me, that would be overwhelming. I know other people who seem quite capable of that, but I know my limits. So,
Well, I think we have those other 2 business models too,
yeah,
so if it was just the
it's true.
services, that would be a little easier.
That's true. That's true. I was looking at our notes here to see what else we wanted to chat about. Um, we have the online space effect that everyone else seems to be doing more illusion. Yeah.
Mhm.
I I definitely see like other people showing up all the time on social media, and I feel like I don't like I've had a bunch of like I shared my vacation photos on Instagram, but I don't really post on Instagram a lot, but I see other people there who are just killing it. And on Pinterest, like they're getting leads from Pinterest and they have
Mhm.
tons of pins. And I do like there's part of me that's like, "Oh, I should be doing this too." LinkedIn is another thing that I don't really spend much time on
Yep.
because each of those to me, the payoff seems so low based on the amount of effort it takes to the input is just not worth the output to me. But
Mm-mm.
there are other people who love those platforms and they seem to be doing really well. For me, really YouTube and my newsletter and SEO are kind of where I live right now. And those to me feel like the easiest lift for me personally.
I
How do
think
you feel, Caitlin?
I'm the same way. I think it's
Mhm.
because for me, I'm long-winded. I don't do very well with short form content because I feel like I can't cover it enough for it to be a valuable piece of information.
Mhm.
That's one of the things that I love about Becca's YouTube channel because she is so good at that hyper focus, and I just
Yes.
don't have that in me. So if I could, then I would be all over Instagram Reels because I could do it in whatever the 30-second, 60-second,
Yeah.
90-second limit is, but I can't do that. So for me, YouTube and blog are more effective.
Mhm.
And I gave up on all things social media, like, 2022. I was just like, I have to, again, let something go because I
Yeah.
can't be everywhere all at once. I'm only one person.
Yeah. We have another platform comment here. My first design was a Shopify site with over 100 products. I had a good experience and their help bot was quite useful, but
Mhm.
wondering if I should be open to designing both. Hillary, I do know a lot of people that do both Shopify and
Mhm.
Squarespace. And actually, there are a few designers I've been talking to recently who are moving back to Shopify because of some recent commerce changes to Squarespace. So, Squarespace now has like an auto select of the drop downs for you that don't make sense for a lot of sites they're designing. So they're moving back to Shopify. Um, the tax thing has gotten weird. Like there's a tax thing that was good, but I've heard reports of people saying it's not working correctly now.
Mm.
So they're moving back to Shopify. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of folks. I don't do e-commerce, so I'm not
Me
I
either.
this is just like what I'm hearing from other people.
Yeah.
Um, but I am hearing a lot of people moving or including Shopify and, deciding for that particular client which platform is the best fit. And actually, one of those designers I was talking with was telling me that with Shopify, they get like an ongoing referral fee for those
Yes.
sites
Yes.
that really adds up and has provided a really nice cushion of income for them. So
Yeah.
that's another thing to consider too.
Yeah, the partner program with Shopify is actually really good. It's recurring monthly as long as the subscription is active.
Mhm.
So, I have a partner program account with Shopify too, just because I've built
Yeah.
a few, but, so for me, it's not it's not an income replacer for the 2 or 3 projects I've used it for, but that is way different than the way Squarespace's partner program operates.
Yeah, Jai, it's the variant. So it's auto selecting a variant. Like I said, I don't do e-commerce. This is just what I'm hearing that it's auto selecting things that don't make sense for. So if you have two different types of products next to each other, it's auto selecting things that kind of look weird together.
Mm,
Another,
yes, definitely.
yes, yeah, Hillary, that makes total sense. Yeah, yep. Another thing that we talked about, Katelyn, in our notes with the online space effect, and we've touched on this a little bit, but it's managing digital clutter. So we have in the
Mhm.
notes too many communities, courses, and platforms. I definitely feel like this year I purchased some courses that I thought I would have time to take, and I have not. And they just kind of linger in my inbox reminding me that I should have done that 6 months ago, and I feel, like, annoyed with myself that I spent money on something that I haven't actually put in the time
Mhm.
to work through. So, for me, that's the kind of digital clutter that I'm feeling. What about for you?
Right now, it seems like a lot of I'm still figuring out how to deal with Substack, and so I accidentally have somehow, like, 2 separate accounts in there with subscriptions, not paid, but, like, I'm still getting duplicate subscription notifications from those, and so I'm getting a lot of stuff like that in my inbox, a lot
Mhm.
of newsletter stuff that I want to read, but, like, right now, I have 185 unread emails in my inbox.
Yeah.
And that is normal. And
Yeah.
I hate that that's normal.
Yeah, I think for me, the inbox really I mentioned this a little bit earlier too, but I get a lot of just a quick questions from folks who worked with me 5 years ago who think I remember their website when we spent an hour together on a Thursday. And it's like, "Hey, just a quick question. We work together. Here's my site." And it's not a quick question because I have to go and I have to look at their site, remember what their business model is, and then answer their
Mhm.
question. And part of me, like I've not charged for that because part of me feels like, how would I? Like, how would I be
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not going to answer your question unless you pay me. That feels wrong. But also like I spend hours every week doing this, like hours out of my life, and I can't continue to support people years later. It's so I'm really at this yeah, I'm at this place where I don't know how to handle that, honestly. And I want to be kind and I want to be generous, but I also need to get my own stuff done. So that's something that I'm really struggling with right now.
Yeah, I get a fair amount of that, although not as much as I would have thought.
Mhm.
Most of it is software notification related. Like when you
Mhm.
onboard with something while you're testing a new software and you get a 5,000 notifications that are walking you through the onboarding
Yes.
process, and stuff that I can ignore, but that also buries the stuff that I shouldn't or don't want to ignore too.
Mhm.
But that's not the only thing. There's notifications everywhere, and I turn most of them off. I
Mhm.
don't see a badge on my email
I
inbox.
don't have push notifications on
No.
anywhere. I have to go and look. If I
Yes.
don't look, it's like
I
Schrodinger's
don't know.
cat, right? Like,
Yes,
I don't yeah.
yes.
There might be stuff there, there might not.
Yes, I do the same thing, I just can't it can't interrupt me like that, so that's one of the ways I'm trying to reduce digital clutter.
Mhm.
I have a weekly notification in, Asana or task that reminds me to do, like, weekly tasks and monthly tasks,
Mhm.
and one of them is to clear off my desktop, to clear out my downloads folder, to delete my trash, to reboot my computer, and those things help actually a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I have a calendar, a calendar, like, notification to water my plants.
Me
Otherwise, it
too!
would never
They
happen.
will die.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yep.
I kill them by accident all the time, but
My husband, I think it was 2 Christmases ago, got me easy plants, so they have a reservoir, and so once a month, I just fill it up, and knock on
that's
wood, those are all still alive. And that one is fake. So
yeah, these are fake.
yeah. This gets no light. Yeah.
I have a cat, so the plants that I wanted
Ah,
were toxic to cats.
yep.
My dog doesn't care, but my cat will chew
Yeah,
on them. So some of them
yeah.
have to be fake, but the real ones do still need water.
Yes. Yep. Got a couple of good comments here. Jai says, "Saying goodbye to Adobe,
Yep.
working in Affinity." Yes, I actually just canceled Adobe. I don't know if I'm gonna YOLO it. So if I have something that needs that, I'm either gonna, like, get a month of what I need or figure out Affinity. We'll see. So, yep.
I'm doing the same.
Oh, we are all just exiting. After that, like, we want $800 for stupid AI things? No, mm-mm.
No.
Brenda, courses that change platforms. Oh, yes. And as an affiliate marketer, when companies change their affiliate programs, oh my word. Yeah. Yeah, just keeping up with all that is
Yeah.
insane.
I
Hillary, yes to charging for your time. You're still being kind and generous. I once reached out to Smith maybe with one question, paid her $45. I would have paid more. Thank you. I appreciate that. I can't think of a good way to be like, yeah, I'll answer you, but first give me some money. So yeah, I,
it
I
never
do
feels good
actually,
to say that.
yeah, yeah, no. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but maybe I'll just retire and then be like, I don't do that anymore. Sorry. Um, but to wrap up, I would love to switch to our topic of what's helping right now. So, Kaitlyn, you mentioned having things set up on your calendar, these recurring calendar notifications to clean your desktop, and we
Yep.
have one to water our plants. So, I'm really curious what personal boundaries you've set, how maybe you're redefining what success or progress looks like for you, habits or reframes that make a difference for you. Is there anything along those lines that you're finding is really helpful? And if you are joining us live, please let us know in the chat what's working for you. Oh, and
Um,
Jai, yeah, before Caitlin answers, I'll let you think about that for a second. What about having the buy me a coffee thing in your signature? Yeah, I've done that. They don't buy me a coffee. They're like,
oh,
thanks. And then sometimes they don't even say thanks. Yeah. I've gotten like
that's
very few
wrong.
coffees. Yeah.
Oh, that's wrong. Y'all do better for Christy. For personal boundaries, I put them in kitchen, and I tell them to only contact me there once they're in there so that everything they ever ask me is in that one thread, and I don't have to suss out through my chaos of an inbox to figure out what happened in the past threads. So
Mhm.
that is helpful. I've been doing that for the past year. I will keep doing that. Redefining what success or progress looks like just means for me, like, putting on my blinders and trying not to look at so and so's $500,000 launch or
Yeah.
whatever, and, like,
Yeah.
just focusing on me and where I'm at and trying not to let them their because 'cause they're in a different season than I'm in, so it's you
Mhm.
there's no comparison, that's apples to oranges.
Right.
So, trying to put my blinders on, and then simple habits or reframes are not really reframes, but, like, I'm proud of the progress that I've made over the last 10 years, and
Mhm.
I don't really care if I'm not the next Amy Porterfield right now. That's not really my goal.
No, that's not my goal either. Yeah.
No, no. So, I'm just reframing, like, what success means to me, and I would be totally fine if next year I was just as successful as I have been so far this year, but hopefully with a little less clutter.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. I think that the comparison is and putting your
Mhm.
blinders on is so important because one of the things that I laugh about this, and you probably do too, is like somebody will be like, "Yeah, my $500,000 launch." And I'm like, "Yeah, but after you pay all of your affiliates and all of
Yeah.
your assistants and all of the software, I mean, like, are you walking away with what I made on my launch? Because like, those things are pricey."
Yep.
Um, I feel like there's so much that we don't see behind the
Mhm.
scenes of those things. I always have to I take those things with a little grain of salt. I think anytime you're sharing your metrics, it's just like, well, is that gross or is that net? And like, what was your life like?
Affiliate,
Yeah,
software, ads, all
yeah,
of the things, taxes. There's a
yes,
lot that comes out of that.
yeah,
So maybe
yeah.
we don't know.
Maybe we don't know. And for me, a few years ago, I really thought about just like what is enough for me? Like, what's the right number for me to hit each year? And
Yeah.
if I hit that number, then I feel incredibly successful and grateful.
Mhm.
And it's probably, it's a different number for all of us. Like we all live in different places. We have different households. We have, different things that we're dealing with. I'm fortunate enough that my husband has health insurance through his job. So that's not something I have to pay for. But I know other entrepreneurs who spend a ton of money on healthcare. So, we're all in different places, different phases. And I think just like figuring out what is enough and the right number for you has been really freeing for me. Like, yeah, I don't need to make $1,000,000. I need to make this much because that's going to cover what I need covered and also give me some fun money.
Mhm. Yeah, learning what is enough is helpful because then you feel like a lot of the shoulds drop away,
Hmm.
and that feels more doable or realistic for a lot of people.
Yeah, totally agree. I think for me too, just thinking about habits or reframes that make a difference. I think that's a reframe that makes a difference for me. Habits, I think for me, one thing that has been really freeing is I used to be really regimented and put it on my calendar like, I'm going to record this video today. And now I'm just like, I feel like recording a video. What seems like a good topic? And I'll have a list, of things to go through, but it feels a lot more fun to
Mhm.
me if it's something that I'm interested in the moment. So kind of getting away from really regimented calendaring. Now, I do regimented calendaring for client stuff, so, like,
Yeah, same.
yeah, but for my own stuff, giving myself a lot more freedom has felt really good.
Yeah, I'm my own worst employee in that respect. If I put something on the calendar that's for myself,
Uh-huh. Just
it'll always be late.
just
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, I don't need to do that today."
Monday, nope, Tuesday, nope, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Hillary says, "Yes, the endless push for a six-figure income and scaling." Yeah. Maintaining high-level courses and offerings is a ton of work. Yes. I think, people who do that, they have teams, and
Mhm.
that was something that has never appealed to me.
Me either.
I do not play well with others in a business setting. Like I've had traditional jobs and I was miserable and it did not work for me to have a boss. Also, I don't like
Same.
being someone else's boss. So for me, just being a solopreneur is really where I feel the best
Mhm.
and the happiest. So totally agree with that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we're all a little bit tired of hearing that. Just saying.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean,
Agreed.
and also that means something drastically different to someone who lives in a lower cost of living area than someone who's like, that's not even a helpful number to aim at because it means something completely different depending on where you live and what your variables are.
Right, right. Yeah.
Jai says
Uh,
she's not a good employee either.
I feel that. Yeah. Uh, whatever fish you had together with your response, deeply appreciate. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's interesting because I feel reasonably confident in doing these things now, but it was not always that way. And I'm feeling that
Mhm.
again with this, I want to start this other YouTube channel and I'm feeling all of those insecurities and all of that imposter syndrome again. And it's like, oh, I'd forgotten how hard that is to push through. So thank you so much. Much, much
Yeah,
appreciated.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
oh, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Wayne, I'm glad you've joined us. And then Jai asked earlier, I don't see it right now. What is Kitchen? Kaitlyn, you have a
Oh,
whole course on how you use Kitchen.
yes, I was Kitchen is just the client portal. So it's task management in a collaborative area, file sharing, and kind of like a live chat, Slack kind of style environment. And it works really well alongside your CRM, but it is not a CRM. And they have a lifetime payment. So it's not a subscription that's ongoing. And so for anybody that's in Dubsado that doesn't like their client portal or they don't have a CRM yet, it's a really good option.
I love a one-time payment. I just got shout out this year, which is a
Yep.
testimonial.
Me
Yeah,
too.
so good. So good. Um, and thanks, Jai. Appreciate that. And
Yes.
Hillary says, one of the most welcoming and engaged conversations. I'm so glad you're here, Hillary.
Good.
Thanks so much for joining us. And actually, we are coming up on an hour. Thank you all so much for being here. Um, we're grateful that you've come and joined and participated in the chat. And I think that it's really just nice to know that you're not alone. At least I feel that way. Like it's really when Caitlin and I were originally talking about this, it's like, oh, I'm glad it's not just me. Like it's
Right.
hard. It's hard out there, but at least it's not just me. I think
Yeah.
a universal feeling. Like we all feel like we're not doing enough. We can't keep up.
I think
And
when the general feeling, like, internally is, "Look at everything that they're doing, and why does it feel so hard for me?"
mhm,
That's so isolating because you don't really get the full scope of what everybody else is going through.
yes, yeah. And Caitlin and I are here to say, yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it's so hard.
We're
It's
dropping
good
balls left
hard,
and
but it's
right, or at
hard.
least I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody emailed me the other day and it's like, you have a typo on one of your blog post
Me
images.
too.
And I'm
And
like, dude, that is so far down the list of what I care about, but thanks.
yeah, she said, "My son is a graphic designer, and I proofread the site." And I was like, "Great, my mom doesn't proofread the hundreds of pages on my site." Like, "No, I'm not worried about that, sorry."
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I appreciate you letting me know. I'm the queen of typos. And also, can we just give a hooray to know that it wasn't generated by AI?
Right? That's how you know it wasn't
Yeah.
generated by AI, yeah.
The typos over here. So, um, thank you all again so much for joining us. Caitlin, we should do this again sometime.
Yes, we should. This was
Yes.
lovely, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And Caitlin, I'll see you back on the back end of this afterwards
Okay.
and appreciate you all joining us. See ya.
Bye.